I am Nina van Tilburg for National Security News. Cybersecurity company IronNet and Asterion, who are experts in protection against drones, have announced that they are joining forces to safeguard critical infrastructure and airspace using advanced AI-based security and anti-drone technology. And we have the lead independent director of IronNet, Admiral Mike Hewitt, and the editor of National Security News, Sean Raymond, in the studio to discuss that. Admiral Hewitt is a former Rear Admiral and also serves as an investment advisor to C5 Capital. He's also the CEO of IB3, an international energy and security company. Admiral Mike, can we start by asking you, so what is the nature of this partnership between, is it Asterion, Rapid Flight, and IronNet?
So we had Asterion, Rapid Flight, and Auto Aviation as our three companies that we're actually looking to invest in, along with IronNet here at the air show. So it was a great chance for us not just to show off our companies that we are partnered with and investing in, but actually the companies partnering with each other. So the announcement, the first deal of the Bahrain Air Show was the partnership of Asterion with IronNet. So Asterion is a counter-UAS company that has developed a very interesting ability to have a multimodal system that can basically provide complete coverage of a country from threats by drones. And it can go in kind of military parlance from Q to kill. It can see drones, it can classify them, it can track them, and then it can destroy them with their own drone that they launch from multiple locations. So many countries right now are focused on counter-UAS systems. And so Asterion is a leading company in that regard. And then IronNet, as a cybersecurity company, is the first time to match up cyber capability with counter-unmanned systems. So it's really going to be twofold. One, IronNet will provide a resilient cybersecurity collective defense system for the Asterion network, which is critically important because the way to disrupt the counter-UAS network is with a cyber attack of some kind. Additionally, what we are developing is the ability for IronNet to actually deliver cyber payloads against the adversary drones using this network. So it is a fascinating partnership between two of the most innovative companies in their domains.
So IronNet is because IronNet is a cybersecurity company, which in its original form used to protect a country from incoming viruses, computer viruses, and cyber attack. Now what it's doing is it's teaming up with Asterion, which is a counter-unmanned air vehicle company, and it's going to prevent that company from being attacked from a cyber attack. Is that correct? So it can then, whatever Asterion does in terms of counter-drone technology, it can then operate as a counter-drone organization without being affected by cyber attack.
That's correct. And so IronNet has their Iron Dome capability, which would then be applied to the Asterion counter-UAS ecosystem to give it cyber protection, which is critically important for them to be able to operate in what we would call denied environment. Because I can promise you that one of the attacks that would happen to disrupt the counter-UAS system would be a cyber attack in advance, perhaps, of the drone launch. So it is the Iron Dome and the collective defense capability of IronNet that will be applied to protecting the Asterion counter-UAS ecosystem.
Is this the first time that, is this the first of its kind? Has anyone else got this?
It is the first of its kind that is focusing on a particular system in counter-UAS and understanding the cyber vulnerabilities of it and applying that system specifically to protect it from cyber threats. We've learned a lot of lessons from Ukraine. As you know, we're heavily involved in different things in Ukraine around manned and unmanned innovative technology. And one of the lessons learned for us was the cyber threat. going back and forth between unmanned systems in Ukraine. So we've taken those lessons learned and applied it to the IronNet system that will protect the Asterion system.
So if this product was deployed in Ukraine today, what sort of impact would it make?
We have shared this capability of both IronNet and Asterion with different leaders in Ukraine that are on the front line. And I will tell you the feedback we got is how fast can you get this capability here? And that came from people that are actually executing in the front lines at a very high level. So we took that with a great deal of confidence that this would be a game changer in Ukraine. And our intention is to bring this collaborative partnership to Ukraine.
I'm just kind of thinking in practice, how does this work? Okay, so say Ukraine has this capability, but Russia might also have that capability. Would that mean that Ukraine's drones could be less effective?
Well, what we've seen in this conflict is an amazing amount of innovation by both sides. If you look at Ukraine since the war began, they only had 2 or 3 drone companies. They now have over 200. They've built over 2 million drones in 2024. And many of these drones have gone from being just hardware to really being innovative, resilient, autonomous, and even AI-driven systems. And that's all happened in the last 2 years. So the pace of innovation is like nothing we've ever seen before. And the reason the Ukrainians have been so effective with this is because they already had an ecosystem of AI engineers. Most of these drone companies weren't drone companies or companies doing anything for the military before the invasion of Russia. They literally turned their entire country's engineering and innovative and IT prowess to military mission. And that's how they've been so effective. The Russians are playing catch up in the unmanned side with Ukraine. So it's important that we continue to advance these technologies. And I think an Asterion IronNet partnership, which we've already collaborated on, will be something that will be greatly received in Ukraine.
So that's a done deal, is it? It's definitely going ahead, the Asterion IronNet partnership.
That is a done deal. We're very excited about it. We're going to be developing that quite quickly in multiple opportunities, not just for Ukraine, but we fully intend to bring this opportunity forward to Ukraine. And of course, with our work on the ground there, we are very cognizant of making sure that what we can bring to Ukraine is something that doesn't violate any ITAR or any other things. So we actually look at this as a way to introduce additional capability into the warfighting hands of Ukraine. We understand how to do that. And again, when we've shared this capability with different leaders in Ukraine that are on the battlefield and are developing their own capability, they gave us great confidence that this would be a complement to what they have. Our intention is to get it into the hands of the warfighter as fast as we can, and then continue to develop it and take advantage of the fact that the Ukrainians know how to innovate better than we do. And so our intention is to give them something that they can also develop and spirally build out on. And of course, that will be of great value to us when we can take that back for other areas of responsibility.
Well, Admiral Mike Hewitt, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Anytime. Enjoyed it very much.